Hi, YouTube friends, it's Jan and Kaden. Say hi, Kaden.
Hi. Hi.
Thank you. So, Kaden and I are here to discuss with you how to make soap without lye.
Yeah. You don't lie. The process. Okay.
Oh, you're so funny. So the other day, my mom and I were discussing one of my soaping videos that I made. And she was asking me, why do I use lye in my soap when it can burn you? And we were talking about one of the memories my dad has, that when he was young, he remembered his grandma or his mom making soap that he said would just burn your skin off. And we laugh about that. But there is a real reason why that soap burned his skin off. And it was probably soap that wasn't made properly. And what I want to share with you guys is saponification and the use of lye. So you can make soap without lye, which I'll tell you how to do that at the end of this video. But right now I want to talk about how soap is made. So when I was talking to my mom, Kaden is making faces at me in the background. So when I was talking to my mom and she asked me about one of my soaping recipes, she said, Jen, isn't lye really harsh and doesn't it burn? And I was telling her, yes, lye by itself, when mixed with water, can burn. It's not acidic, it's very alkalytic, which also can burn. It's very caustic. And I was telling her about when you combine lye with oil, a chemical reaction happens called saponification that turns lye and water into soap, which is not harmful. And I was to help her understand, and to help you understand, I want to just use a different example of two harsh chemicals being put together to make something very necessary in our life. You have hydrogen, which they make the hydrogen bomb. They make that atomic bomb out of hydrogen molecule or atom. And you have oxygen that also is very flammable. And so you have hydrogen, which can be considered dangerous, and you have oxygen, which can be considered dangerous at 100%. And you take two hydrogen molecules and one oxygen, and you combine them together, and you create water. Very necessary for life, but not harmful unless you drown in it, right? So when you take the lye molecule, the chemical lye, which is very caustic and harmful, and you combine it with oil, you have a chemical reaction that releases heat and creates soap. The saponification, which is a chemical reaction that occurs, creates soap, which is now not harmful. The definition of saponification means turning lye and oil into soap. Now, each oil has a different saponification value, which means how much lye it will take to turn that specific oil into soap without having any lye left over. So going back to the story of my dad, when my dad said he used soap that would burn his skin off, probably what happened, they didn't have the right amount of lye necessary to turn that oil into soap without having any left over. So in other words, they probably had leftover lye in their soap, which would make it really harsh, and that's probably why my dad was really turned off from homemade soap, because his experience was not a very good one. So the idea is to get the right lye ratio necessary to turn your oil into soap and have no lye left over. That's why you use a soap calculator to calculate the right amount of lye for all the oils that you're using in your soap recipe. So when you mix your lye water with your oil, it will release heat, and that heat is actually the chemical reaction that's going on in your bowl, turning your oil soap, and that'll release a heat. And that total saponification time will take anywhere between 24 to 48 hours to actually release or convert all that lye and oil into soap. And then we let it cure for 30 days. And the reason we let it cure for 30 days is because we want the excess water to evaporate off the soap and make it harder and to neutralize the pH of the soap. So how do you make soap without using lye? You would have to purchase a melt and pour soap. And a melt and pour soap is basically a saponified oil. And actually sometimes on some soap packaging, they will not use the word lye or sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide in their ingredients on the packaging because it makes people nervous and it kind of scares them off. So what they say is saponified olive oil, saponified coconut oil, saponified whatever oil you might see. So when you read that label, it says saponified, whatever it is, they've already done adding the sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide to the oil, and they've already basically made soap for you. So a melt and pour soap is basically a soap that's already made that you can melt and re-pour. And for working with your kids at making soap, that's a really good idea, because when you're working with hydroxide, any sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide, there are certain dangers of working with that. You don't want to get it on your skin, you don't want to breathe it. So I don't recommend you making that type of soap with your kids. You want to buy melt and pour soap. It's already saponified. There's no lye step involved, and it's very easy. So yes, you can make soap without using lye, and you want to purchase a melt and pour soap. So I hope that cleared up this sometimes confusing topic of I want to make soap without lye. Some people say you can, some people say you can't, but really soap is not soap unless it has been saponified. And for saponification to happen, there has to be some lye involved in it. So if you have any questions about that or any comments, please comment below. Subscribe to my channel, give my channel a thumbs up, like my video, it helps, trust me. And hit the notification button to be notified when I upload videos. And God bless you guys, make soap and have fun doing it, and I'll be back. Bye. I just wanted to say that if you're interested in any of the products that I'm making on my channel, my soaps, my tumblers, my pens, you can go to my Etsy store or Janix. I'll put the link below in the description and you can purchase them there. Bye. And I'm not lying about that. I'm so funny.
You're so funny.